Today, I'm going to build an iconic Bedwars map from Hypixel. For reference, in 2015, Hypixel exploded in popularity, surpassing Mineplex as the most popular Minecraft server, and to this day it has kept that spot. In 2017, it solidified its position with the release of Bedwars. Child Calamity loved Bedwars, and today I will be rebuilding one of my favorite maps called Airshow. However, for this build, I will need tens of thousands of wool blocks and a surprising amount of diamond and emerald blocks. I'm going to get the wool first because of the sheer amount of it that I need. So the first stop is my server's wool farm. Here it is. Now, this thing has been running for a long time, so let's see if it's filled up. Looks like it is not completely full actually, which is surprising. I'm gonna go ahead and go through these storage systems and get out all of the wool that I'm gonna need for this project, and we're gonna see what's missing. Alright, that's probably enough shulker boxes. This will be for the black wool. Alright, and there it is. I've filled up 5 shulker boxes of black wool, so I can check that off the list. Unfortunately, I need a lot more of other types of wool. If we look at the materials list, as you can see, black wool is actually in 4th place. Yeah, I don't think I'm anywhere near halfway. I need 20,000 light gray wool. Now that I have the black wool, I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure out how much of the rest of the kinds of wool that I actually have in this farm. That way we know how much I need to still get, and it's probably a lot. We have 7.5 stacks of green wool out of 8.5 stacks that we need. We have all of the orange wool that we need. We have pink. We have 13 pink wool. Add that to the count. Making a real dent into the pink wool there. Looking at the amount of yellow wool I have, considering I need over 50 stacks, you might think this is nowhere near enough. However, if you look at this picture of Airshow, what you can't see is that all of the balloons are filled with wool. When I took the schematic, I did my best to remove the extra wool, but I couldn't get it all. So I'm not going to need all of the wool it says I need. Wow, for the first time I've actually filled a shulker box with a wool type that isn't black. I have collected all of the white wool that was in this farm, and I have just about 1 shulker box. This one's kinda empty. So I'm gonna go ahead and collect all of these, and now that I have all of this wool that I can use for the project, I'm gonna go ahead and fly over to where I'm actually gonna build this thing. Now, when you look in the sky here, you might see nothing, but when I look in the sky, I see this. Now this is the entire Bedwars map, Airshow, and I'm gonna have to build all of it in survival. Yeah, this is gonna take forever. So, I'm gonna go down here and place down all of my shulkers. As you can see, this map is giant, and I very evidently do not have, well, that shulker was a bad one to open. I don't have all of the stuff that I'm gonna need. I literally have 13 out of like many thousands of pink wool that I actually am going to need. So, I'm gonna need to find a solution for this, and I'll get back to you when I have one. I've spent some time thinking about it, and there is a ton of wool that I need, and the only way I'm going to get that in any sort of reasonable amount of time is if I use the sheep farm that we already have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, I'm going to grab a bunch of different kinds of dye that I need. Let's go ahead and fly over there, and literally all I'm going to do is dye the sheep the colors that I need. I think I'm going to convert this entire smaller farm over here specifically to light gray dye. As you can see, this sheep farm is quite a few sheep in there. Now, I don't want to have to waste dye when I'm dyeing these guys. I only have so much black dye here with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 sheep in this row. 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 rows going this way. In order to find the surface area of a square, you need to multiply its length times its width. We just found out that its length is 5 and its width is 8. And 5 times 8 is 40. There we go. That is 40 gray dye. Oh no. Problem, I can't dye these sheep. Oh no. Now, in order to solve this problem of me not being able to dye the sheep, I could either take all the shears out of these dispensers so that the sheep can regrow their wool and then I can dye them, or I could just make a new one. Which is what I'm gonna do, because I really don't want to have to deal with taking all of the shears out and putting them back in. I'd rather just dye a bunch of these light gray, breed them up, then make a new sheep farm. Oh, I actually do have observers and dispensers, so let's go ahead and use those. You know, I wish I had checked my redstone shulker box before flying all the way back to my house. Okay, I've made this as big as I can with the amount of observers that I have. As you can see, I am running very low on observers. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start filling this with sheep. Alright, I now finally have a functioning gray wool farm. You can see it just sheared that one right in front of me. If we go down here, we should see it start filling up this. Yep, there it is. There's 20 light gray wool in here already. Now I'm gonna go ahead and dye these guys some different colors, dispose of these ones ethically, and replace them with the colors that I need. So it is currently about to be midnight. I've been AFK in there for a little bit now. If we come over to here, you'll see a few of the different colors of sheep that I've added in. Every single one of these grass blocks that you see is a new color that I've added in. And then obviously we have the light gray sheep over there. I'm gonna see how much of each color of wool that I get overnight. And depending on that, I'm going to change, like I'm going to add more of the colors that I need more of, and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you tomorrow. I've been AFK overnight. If you couldn't tell from my morning voice, I pretty much just woke up. So let's go ahead and check what these guys did. Alright, this first chest looks full for the most part. Second chest is full. Okay, you know what? That's not bad, to be honest. Let's go look in the other one. We've got, okay, this one's full. This one is almost full. That's weird. This farm's a lot bigger. I would expect it to have created more than this one, but I guess not. So I'm going to go ahead and check the light gray now. Let's see what we've got. First one's full. Second one's full. Okay. 2.5 double chests, roughly. That's a good dent. I'm going to go ahead and collect all of these and count them up. And we'll see if we're ready to head back over. So we got a decent amount of all the wool that I need. Well, almost all. If we look in this shulker box, you can see I didn't even get a stack of green or orange wool. So tonight when I AFK, I'm definitely going to have to get some more green and orange sheep. But other than that, I got a number of cyan. So I'm going to go ahead and bring all of this over. Okay, so we have a ton of wool over here. We've got plenty of all the different kinds that I'm gonna need, except for things like orange specifically. Oh wait, no, I have more orange in here. Okay, I might actually have all the wool that I need now that I see how much I actually have. I can go start placing the wool now, but what I'm gonna do first, we're gonna go back to the materials list, and we're gonna look at some of the other stuff that I need. I need a lot of spruce planks. So I'm gonna need 20 stacks of logs. Let me see. I have 7 stacks in here. And then we're also going to need a ton of oak planks. So I'm going to head over to my tree farm, and we're going to get all of the wood that I need, and then I'm actually going to start building. This wood farm is probably the most useful farm on the server. Okay, that is all of the wood that I'll need. So I'm going to go ahead and fly this back over there, and then we'll start building. With Lightmatica, I don't need to tower all the way up here. You'll see I can just do this. Now that I have a platform to stand on, let's go ahead and break those. And you can see I'm just placing the blocks in thin air. Thankfully, I can do this. It's very useful. So now I am finally actually doing this the way that I wanted to. I'm just placing this type of wood. Alright, I have finally placed in all of the spruce. I don't need to place any more spruce for this build now. Next up, I'm going to put in all of the oak. Okay, I just finished placing all of the oak planks. As you can see, it is actually starting to come together. This is starting to resemble the actual Bedwars map. Next up, I want to get all of the blocks that aren't wool placed in. So I think I'm going to start off just with oak slabs, oak stairs, spruce slabs, and spruce stairs, because those seem like they're the easiest, because I already have all the wood. I have filled in the slabs and the stairs, as you can see over here. Yes, I have enough spruce fences now. Let's go and get these placed in. Let's turn the rendering back on and fly up there. I've placed in all of the fences down there, and I think that is all of the wood that I'm going to need for this build, actually, not including the chests that I'll be putting on the individual islands out there. So next up, I need a ton of stone for this, actually. If you look, 600 smooth stone slabs, lots of andesite, actually. I don't know how I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna go try to get all the stone that I'm gonna need for the build. So let's go ahead and fly. Pretend that didn't happen. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and fly over to the cobblestone farm and pick up a couple of shulker boxes of cobblestone, and then we're gonna smelt it in my super smelter and get all of the stone that we need. Hopefully. Okay, we've got 2 shulker boxes here. To the smelter! Which is this way. I Okay, I have more than enough cobblestone stairs and cobblestone walls. Do I need any regular cobblestone? No, I really don't need any regular cobblestone, so I can smelt all of this just into stone. So, yeah, I've got all the stone in there smelting. I'll catch up with you once it's finished, and we'll go ahead and craft everything up. So I'll be right back. I've been waiting here for a little while. Definitely hasn't been multiple days. And if we look in here, there's all of the items that I smelted. So let's go ahead and pull out the stone first. So this should be all of the stone items that I need. So let's go ahead and fly on over to that thing over there in the sky that's very noticeable. So as you can see, this place now has an actual roof on it, and I'm gonna make the walls, but before I do that, I'm gonna go and get the sea lanterns for this spot, and then there's also some down here, and that's because I don't want mobs to spawn up here, and those are the only lights that are actually a part of the build. So I wanna make sure that I get those before I get the andesite, which I'm gonna use to make these walls. Luckily for me, there should be an ocean monument right over here. As you can see, there's an ocean monument literally right next to me. Okay, well, I thought that the Guardian wasn't there, but as you can see, I very clearly have mining fatigue, so I'm gonna go and see if I can find a cow. Alright, now that we have the sea lanterns in here, I need to go and get a ton of andesite. I actually don't know how I'm gonna do this. I need a full shulker box, basically, of andesite. So I think I'm just gonna go into random caves and take all of the andesite until I have enough. Yeah, this is gonna take forever. Oh, this is gonna take so long. I've got my shulker box of andesite. Now I'm gonna have to make half of this into polished andesite. I'm gonna do that. This is gonna take so long. I've placed in all of the andesite. If you look over there, you can see I've filled in that back area as well on every single one of these. Next up, I'm going to fill in everything else before I do the wool. I'm going to do the wool last because I have to do mostly the wool. There's so much more wool than there is any other kind of block. So I'm going to grab some glass, some chests. I already had ender chests on me, so I just filled them in. I'm going to fill in the white stained glass here, and up here is actually wool, so I'm going to leave this empty for now. But we're almost ready to start filling in the wool. I've placed in most of the things that I need to place in. Like we have the chests, the ender chests, the glass. However, there are a few things we're missing before we have to put in the wool. That includes, if you look on the side of this, we have a lot of diamond blocks and emerald blocks. And then I also have a lot of black terracotta that I need for these wings here on the side. I think I'm gonna do the black terracotta first because I don't want to spend 9 hours mining diamonds right now. As you can see, I've finished placing all of these little black terracotta sails, and next up, I need to confront the very distressing reality that if I turn on the rendering for this, there is walls of riches on all of these balloons. There's emeralds and there's diamonds. I'll go ahead and pull out my valuables shulker box here. You'll see I have 30 blocks of diamonds, roughly 29. And we'll go ahead and look at the material list, and you'll see that I need almost 500 of both blocks of diamonds and blocks of emeralds. Okay, I literally just got 450 diamond blocks. Well, not just got. Over the past 3 days, I've been mining. I have 7 hours of footage, if you don't believe me. This took so long. Now that I have 450 diamond blocks, I need 450 emerald blocks. After an absurd amount of time, I have finished getting the rare materials that I need for this build. It took 7 hours for the diamonds and like 2 hours for the emeralds, I want to say. That's a lie. The emeralds took like 30 minutes. But I'm going to say they took 2 hours because that sounds cooler. Now that I have the diamonds and the emeralds, I am officially ready to start building the balloons. Here the next 10 hours. And it only makes sense that to build this build, I get my original Bedwars duos partner. Warper, do you have anything to say? Do you have anything to say, Warper?
Apart from the fact that I started looking at my webcam like they could see me, no, actually, I've got nothing to say.
Oh, okay. I was gonna interrupt you and say, like, that's enough of this chud, but I guess I don't have to. Okay, let's start building.
Well...
Me and Warpair here finally finished building this entire thing, and now it's time to take a look around. We have our main islands over here. In Bedwars, you would usually bridge out here first to get to your diamonds. From the diamonds, you can go across these balloons over here, then build over to mid. Warpair will stay over there. This is mid. There are emerald generators. They don't function for very obvious reasons. Now that we've finished the tour, let's go and place all the beds down. I have an idea.
He's nuts.
Yeah, exactly. This has been quite the video. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Warpair's channel will be in the description, probably. And I'll see you in the next one.